Welcome to our channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the like button, and leave comments. About 25 years ago, there was a young high school student, whom we'll call Mr. A. His family was in a difficult financial situation, so he had to find a way to earn money to help support them. He decided to apply for a job at a convenience store, intending to work there after school every day. He continued working there until he graduated from high school. After graduating, since Mr. A had been working there for a long time, the manager offered him a position as an assistant manager. However, there was one condition. Mr. A would have to work at night to supervise the store when the manager was not present. The convenience store was located next to a market, which brought in a large number of customers. At the time, there were no barcode scanners or advanced electronic registers. The price of every item had to be entered manually into the cash register, which required a great deal of attention. One mistake could cause delays and lead to annoyed customers. On top of that, there was a constant stream of deliveries, making the store quite busy. On his first night working late, there were 3 employees on duty, Mr. A and 2 other staff members. The 2 staff members were stationed at the checkout counters to serve customers, while Mr. A worked in the aisles and in the back of the store, bringing out items to restock the shelves. The strange events began around 1 a.m. Mr. A noticed a sudden rush of customers overwhelming the 2 staff members at the checkout. He decided to help them and went to an empty checkout counter, standing alongside his co-workers. While he was busy operating the cash register, a regular customer entered the store. She walked past the counter, straight to the refrigerator. This customer came to buy milk almost every day, and because she was a regular, she knew exactly where to find the freshest milk, at the very back of the refrigerator. After checking the refrigerator, she returned, looking quite upset and angry. She approached Mr. A and complained that the man inside the refrigerator was rude and inconsiderate. She explained that she had asked the man to hand her a carton of fresh milk from the back because it was hard for her to reach, but he just stood there staring at empty space without responding. Hearing this, Mr. A thought it was strange because he knew very well that all 3 of them were behind the register. He instinctively glanced to the side, and sure enough, the other 2 staff members were right next to him, busy with the cash register. He decided not to argue with the customer or cause a scene. Instead, he quietly apologized. "Sorry about that. I'll speak to the staff." She continued grumbling as she paid and left the store. Mr. A found it strange, but he soon pushed the incident out of his mind as he became busy with work again. Once things quieted down, Mr. A decided to take a break. He instructed his 2 co-workers to stay at the counter and watch the store while he went to the back to check the stock and have his meal. The back area had a small table and a chair for sitting and eating. Next to it were stairs leading upstairs. The upstairs area was also filled with stock and beverages, and nearby was the manager's old desk and chair. The chair could tip back easily and squeaked constantly. Mr. A sat down at the table to eat, but after only a short while, he suddenly heard a sound from upstairs. It sounded like someone was opening and closing a drawer, followed by the scraping of a chair, as if someone had sat down, and the flipping of pages. It wasn't a sound that a mouse or any animal could make. Mr. A listened intently for a while, and soon felt his entire body shiver, because he knew very well that at that time, no one was around except him. The other 2 staff members were at the front, by the counter. There was no reason for any sound to come from upstairs. Out of fear, and not knowing what to do, Mr. A shouted upstairs, "Hey, who's up there?" At that exact moment, a loud crash came from above, like a drawer being slammed violently against a table, followed by sudden silence. Forcing himself to believe something must have fallen, Mr. A hastily gathered his things, fumbling as he cleaned up, and then walked back into the store, pretending nothing had happened. Time passed until around 3 a.m., when Mr. A went upstairs to organize the stock and make space for more deliveries. After repeatedly lifting and moving items, he felt a slight pain in his back. He stretched and twisted from side to side. That's when he noticed something out of the corner of his eye at the manager's desk. What he saw made his entire body shiver. A man was sitting in the chair. He wore a long-sleeved orange shirt buttoned all the way to the collar and cuffs, black slacks, and no shoes. His hair was cut in a bob style, which had been popular at the time. But what was truly terrifying was his face. The man's eyes were sunken, and his mouth was wide open in a creepy smile aimed directly at Mr. A. At that moment, Mr. A felt as if he were in a trance, perhaps because his body had gone into shock. The distance was less than a few meters, so the image was incredibly clear. Out of fear, he couldn't move. The staircase was right in front of him, yet he could not take a step. The man continued to smile at him, but Mr. A could do nothing. Even though he was frozen in place through the staircase, he could still see his coworkers moving around downstairs, but he couldn't call out to them. His voice wouldn't come out. He stood like that for who knows how long. Eventually, one of his coworkers happened to walk near the staircase and saw Mr. A standing frozen upstairs. The coworker tapped the railing and said,
"Hey, are you slacking off up there?"
That voice immediately snapped Mr. A out of his trance. He rushed down the stairs and ran to the front of the store, trying to calm himself. That entire night, Mr. A didn't go back to the back of the store. He waited until morning, around 9 a.m., and felt the urge to tell someone what had happened. He decided to speak to the owner of a restaurant a few doors down. This owner had also rented out the space for this convenience store. When Mr. A asked, "Excuse me, is there anything strange about this building?" the owner denied it.
"Since I bought this building, I've never noticed anything unusual. Why? Did you see something?"
Mr. A explained what had happened the previous night, even describing in detail the clothing the man had worn. Upon hearing the story, the owner's face turned pale. Then the owner's wife, who had been listening nearby, quickly pulled Mr. A aside and whispered. She said that the person Mr. A had seen the night before was actually her son. He had been shot in the area where the convenience store now stands. Upon hearing this, Mr. A's entire body shivered, and he immediately understood who the man had been. He didn't want to stay there anymore, but he needed the money. Mr. A decided to continue working at the store, but chose not to tell anyone about the incident for fear that others might quit. He thought that if he ever encountered something frightening again, he would quit immediately. The second night passed without incident. On the third night, the three of them were still working together. Around midnight, a delivery man arrived to bring stock. According to store policy, an employee must accompany the delivery man upstairs to ensure all items are handled properly and nothing is missing. However, that night, the store was full of customers, and everyone, including Mr. A, was busy. No one had the chance to accompany the delivery man upstairs. Since Mr. A had known him for a long time and trusted him, he let the delivery man go without anyone following. Later, he told him through the staircase, "I have too many customers. Just leave the stuff upstairs for now. I'll count them later." Upon hearing this, the delivery man looked confused, then turned to look and said,
"What are you talking about? There's already someone up here watching me."
Mr. A felt chills run all over his body, instantly realizing what the delivery man had been referring to. Mr. A anxiously waited for the delivery man to come down. As soon as he appeared, Mr. A quickly grabbed his arm and took a few steps toward the corner of the store. He asked again, "Are you sure there was someone upstairs?" Even more confused, the delivery man confirmed that there was indeed a man upstairs, keeping watch. After saying this, he excused himself and went back to carry the rest of the delivery goods. Mr. A didn't wait any longer. He decided to quit the convenience store, but he kept the incident to himself and never told any of the other employees. Before we wrap up, please subscribe to support this small channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss new stories. Thank you for watching and listening until the end. See you in the next video.